All right, everyone. So Eric Bischoff, he talked about how he would have booked Cena's heel turn. Here's what he said. What could be the most different narrative and tone that this version of John Cena has? I'd lean into less is more, at least initially. I'd weigh in heavily and kind of mysterious. Don't be definitive. Don't come out and tell me week one why. You've already left me hanging. You've kind of planted that hook. Leave it in as long as you can. So obviously, this is not what they did, right? They had him go out, and we know the reasons he made the heel turn, and everybody was praising it. There was like universal praise for the promo he gave. Some people I even saw on Twitter were saying this is the best promo he's ever given. I do side a little bit with Bischoff on this, though. I think the mystery of why Cena turned heel was such a really good story to tell. I definitely think that when now that we know the reason, we still have a lot of questions. Don't get me wrong. There are still a tremendous amount of questions about all this. But I do kind of agree. I got to say, I do agree with this that I think maybe you just leave it hanging in the air a little bit more. Make sure we have questions and then you can answer them as we get closer because you got to keep this thing going, right? You really have to keep this thing going all the way to WrestleMania. You don't want it to feel like, come on, we just want that match. I want to know more about why things happened. So I kind of agree, but I don't think it was bad. I'm a firm believer in when you read what people are saying about it, and everybody kind of liked the promo and thought it was a really good John Cena promo. That goes a long way that people actually did like it. And we didn't know why he turned heel necessarily. I do think that kind of being pissed at the fans. That's like the most basic storyline you could have told, right? Which there's nothing wrong with it, but that's definitely the most basic one. Um, you know, I hope they lean a little bit more into going forward because right that there, his promo, the only problem I had with it was a lot of like, well, you guys were mean to me. That was the promo basically. Uh, I hope in the future here we get a little bit more of like, I'm the best. I'm doing this because I'm Hollywood with The Rock. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Hope you get a little bit more of that. I felt like the promo he was giving was more of a whiny thing. It was a lot of whining, and that's fine for that first promo, but I hope as we get more and more, we get less whining and more just like, I want to hate this guy. I want to hate this guy more. And I think they will. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.